All right, it is 9:30. Time for the Friday night hangout. This is where we grab a brew, shoot the breeze, and interact with you live on the internet. I'm here with my esteemed colleagues on the panel here. We'll do a quick round of intros and get going here. From Newfoundland, we got Mike with us, Mustang 774. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Good to be here.
Morning Chores.
Excellent. And we got from Dartmouth, we got Dan with us tonight. How's it going, Dan?
As any good neckbeard would say, "Milady."
Hey, The Princess Bride's coming up on Netflix in April. So there you go.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah, it's coming back. And then I mentioned that to the wife, and she's like, "What's Princess Bride?"
That's great.
I am so surprised that has not come up for a reboot, considering that we're in like the renaissance of reboots right now. That movie would definitely be picked up for that.
Mm. Anyway, that was one of the things I saw today was what's coming in on Netflix or what's leaving Netflix in April. And, of course, I am here in Halifax, Bedford, to be more precise. So for those who are watching live, you can comment on the YouTube live chat or use the FN Hangout hashtag on Twitter. Podcasts, folks, podcast is available to you. A little late for the last week's episode. Actually went up a few hours ago, so we'll put up the next one tomorrow. So sorry about that. Try to get the podcast all straightened up for you guys. We'll do a quick round of what we're drinking tonight. So let's start with Mike enjoying his first beer of the night. Mike, what are you drinking tonight?
I've got a very local craft beer. It actually came from my basement.
I was gonna say, hold it up again, because like that's really translucent. You can see right through that.
That's a nice clear.
It's a Pilsner, and I brewed it December 5th, lagered it for 3 months, and I just tapped keg a couple of days ago, and it's the clearest beer I've ever made, and it's a Pilsner that I dry hopped with Citra, so it's got a nice citrusy aroma, slight citrus taste, and it came out at 5.9%, which is heavy for a Pilsner, but it doesn't feel like it.
So when you do your brewing, do you actually have a filter that you filter out, or you just like go carboy to carboy to carboy to reduce the sediment?
No, I just go from the pail, the fermenter, into a carboy, and I'll leave it anywhere from 2 weeks to, this is the longest I ever did, was 3 months. And it just settles out clear, and then I keg it.
Do you also use the warming belts on your carboy, or you just have it in a pretty good place?
In the winter I do have the belt on it. In the summer I just let it go normal room temperature.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Excellent, good stuff. Dan, what are you drinking tonight?
Just like 2001, I have the Black Monolith. Da, 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 da. Old Fog Burner, which I'm pretty sure that I've spoken at length about this alcohol.
Yes, many times.
Many times. As a recap for those that don't know, this is a 10.5% barley wine, reduced from last year's content, which was, I believe, just a second for reference, 11.5. And again, very good. I'll be honest, I've had 2 glasses of wine already, and now I'm working on this because it's been a long construction day. So put the explicit tag on now, because I'm sure something is going to be said.
But do you like the new brew this year?
I do. I do like it. Again, Garrison, this is an expensive beer, man. Is it really? I like it, but it's an expensive beer. There's got to be like a FN Hangout sort of discount, especially considering how much that we've praised this beer. So I don't know. Maybe even trying to ship it to me, and I don't know. Just to confirm, just send it to Avoiding Chores. You got a PO box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll definitely take donations on that one. No, joking aside, I do really like the old Fog Burner, not just simply for the alcohol content, but for the taste as well. I do enjoy it.
No, it's actually one of my favorites. It's always a beer that I do look forward to, along with the Baltic Porter, which is out too.
Hmm.
Now that was actually supposed to be the beer I was going to drink tonight, but I've just been taking my time. I picked up a growler today and just really enjoying from Sea Level the El Rojo Diablo double IPA version, and this is the 8.666 beer, and a little bit more of the malty side, but we still have a very nice hop bite to it. It's one of my favorites from Sea Level, so they're doing pretty good with that. So I'm just working that off.
And
Yeah.
Jim, for those who don't know, where do you get your growlers from?
Well, I've been going to the local privates. I've been going to the Crystal Wine Merchants here, the Sunnyside Mall in Bedford. They have a tap station, so you just bring in an empty growler or pay for one of theirs, and they got 4 taps, so 4 random taps. Or today I went to Rockhead, which is at the Sobeys on Windsor Street, Windsor and North, and they also have a 4 tap keg section there, so to fill your growlers. So it's not cheap because they do tack on a couple dollars if you were to go to the breweries, but it gives you a very good opportunity to try out some of the other breweries that you don't necessarily get your hands on very easily, as opposed to the ones located in Halifax.
Now, like a Dairy Queen, do you like go behind the counter and just open the machine into your mouth, and then before the employees rush you, and then put the bottle on, or how does that work?
No, basically, no. Behind the bar you can't. In fact, the growler station at Bishop's, they have a couple of signs to not do it yourself, because I guess a few people have tried to help themselves to the taps there. But yeah, I mean, you know what? The growler stations are pretty nice. Well, it's not something I used a lot of, but lately, considering the price of craft beer has been going up a bit, this seems to be probably just as good money-wise for what it is. So,
What's driving that inflation in the craft beer right now? Is it just normal inflation, or there's something else going on?
well, I think some of the brews, I think, is just it's a good time to produce beer. I think. You look at Vickers Cross, which is probably the top-selling craft beer in the NSLCs right now. It's almost $7 for a bottle, right? It's getting very close to old fog burner price.
I know.
And some of the other breweries, Tanamugush and what's the other one here? There's a couple other ones here that they're canning. They just can't keep up, right? So you get that part too. So it's a good time to be in the booze business, hence the trend now of people leaving, or not leaving. The home brewers are doing their thing now. You get the moonshiners doing distilleries, so now they're doing gin.
Mike. Mike.
But with the explosion of craft beers too, there's not really a shortage of hops, but the prices are going up, and some, if you like some of the newer ones like Citra and stuff like that, if you get it at the beginning of the year when they first come out, you'll do better than, say, late fall trying to find it. A lot of the homebrew stores are sold out because the bigger breweries get basically the first orders, and then it goes to homebrew stores and web stores and that. So the demand is up, and there's a lot more hoppier beers too.
Oh yeah, definitely. And especially if you look at, I mentioned this last few hangouts. If you look at the craft beer scene in Quebec, they're doing like big beers and very very low end sours and stuff. So
yeah.
But everybody's now got to do an IPA or a double IPA part of their inventory. So yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean one of the breweries here, I think they had stockpiled their hops, one of their hops for the next 3 years.
I can see that.
Yeah, so couple freezers, huge freezers full of just hops, vacuum sealed hops. So it's crazy. All right, let's get started here, folks. Let's do the first topic here, which is one of the local ones here. And I don't want to say the cat came back, but the cat came back the very next day. We're talking about the ferry, Nova Scotia goddamn ferry. So on Thursday, I guess yesterday, they just signed it. The cat is coming back. Bay Ferries just signed papers to get a U.S. Coast Guard catamaran, which hasn't really been used. Just built 2007, so it's not even 10-year-old boat. And they're going to give the company about $33 million for the next 2 years out of a 10-year contract. So they're giving just as much money to Bay Ferries as the previous company. And now they're starting in June, which you can pretty much kiss goodbye whatever work they did in the last 2 years building up demand tour bus schedules, because they all canceled because they didn't know if there was going to be a boat. Guys, can we just say, government, if you want a ferry, you're just going to have to pay $10 million a year to do 3 months of travel, and that's about it. Even with the price of our Canadian peso, which is very attractive right now to the Americans. So, oh, Dan, you're muted. There you go.
If they want to spend $10 million, knowing the fact that we're going to gain back, I don't know, $12 million, then yeah, cool. I'm all for it. But if this is a $10 million welfare project where we're not really going to get much out of it, then what the hell?
Now, I don't know if, honestly, this feels like a play to say, you know what, the other company was an American company. All the money was going to Maine. Most of the staff was in Maine. All the fuel, all the food was being bought in Portland. I don't know if this is just a play to just move that money back here, even though Bay Ferries is based out of PEI. You know, they'll probably hire a lot of more locals. They're probably going to source their muffins from some lady in freaking Barrington or whatever town or stuff like that, you know, just to spread the wealth there. I can't help but feel like this is the case. It's one of these things. It's a very expensive play to just move that money back to Nova Scotia.
If they make more than it costs, fine, and creates jobs and brings more money to the economy, but I don't know. It seems like it could be a very losing proposition again.
It just seems like whenever the government thinks about they say, we got a plan. Sigh. And then they proceed to tell us that plan. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is like that brother that we keep inside our attic that's like has problems. And I know this is a money pit, but you know it's a brother. We got to do stuff for him. But yeah, is this it? Maybe this is it. Maybe this is our project. This is our burden that we have to deal with for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the last kick at the cat.
No.
Wah, wah.
Now, the one good thing is that it leaves at 8 a.m. at Yarmouth, arrives at Portland at 2:30, and then it comes back at Yarmouth at 9 p.m. So, you know, at least you're getting it's a 6-hour, I guess, sail, six hour or so. You do gain, you know, that does sound pretty good, depending where you are in the province. So it might be tempting. You know, it might be tempting for a few people. So
now this is also a U.S. Navy ship. So once President Trump takes over, is this a foothold to kind of spy upon us Canadians? That's something we got with.
Well, I was reading the history of this catamaran. So it was built for a Hawaii transport service that never, a business that didn't go at it. The Coast Guard inherited it, didn't really do much with it, renamed it twice. Like I said, it's a barely 10-year-old ship, so it's good. It's good that we're getting something new. I mean, it's not like some old bucket, you know. But same thing with the Nova Star too. It wasn't an old ship. It just wasn't a market. it didn't have a customer, right? It was just unused, right? Anyway, all right, folks, let's move on to the next topic, which is another local story. Good Robot Brewing. They wanted to do a little promo, which is to import some, I guess, branded condoms.
You just turned British on us.
Oh, sorry.
Condoms.
Yeah. And of course, you when you go to the States and you try to bring in some health-related stuff, the border takes a look at it, and they said, nay, ain't coming in here. So they got a good 2-3 days of press out of this. BuzzFeed, Huffington Post, and all that. We talk about how Donald Trump, how it's changing the game, and I was reading this great article here in the New York Times how Trump has spent the fewest amount of dollars for political ads, and that's just because his earned media buys, I think that was called. Basically, how much other people talk about him, that worth was like close to like $1 billion, which is just a ridiculous number because everybody talks about Trump. And this is where Good Robot benefited for something like this, where it's not bad advertising. So they got a couple days worth of good press there. So probably the best $100 or a couple $100 they spent on that. But it's just too bad that their beer is not that great to begin with. So the hipsters in the North End and the Hydrostone might think that it's fantastic, but I tell you, if Keith was in here tonight, we tried some of their latest brews, and Good Robot, you can bring in all your branded condoms all you want, but your beer is just shit. It's
just like a one night stand. It's full of regret the next day.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with craft beer now is there's so many of them, and they got such good packaging and labeling, and most of them have a good story behind the start and all that. That sometimes you're so wrapped up in the packaging and buying local and all this that, oh my God, this beer is excellent. But if you're to just pour it in a glass, close your eyes, and somebody say, "What's this like?" All right. So there's some gimmick to it.
I was gonna say we shouldn't be so judgmental, because if Good Robot wants to send us a good sample, then perhaps we should be inviting them open arms to. And I'm talking about the beer, not the condoms, of course. Just so we can, perhaps make sure that or quantitate this opinion.
Yeah.
Now,
there
go
are
ahead.
great craft beers out there too, as well, right?
Well, that's just it. We're in the point now where you can pick and choose, but it's not like I haven't been trying any of the Good Robot stuff. It's just they're very hit and miss with their quality controls. I tried to go to a growler station to get a Good Robot, and the guy's like, "Yeah, something wrong with the keg. I can't really give it to you. Can't give any to you." I was like, okay. And then we tried, I think one of their newer ones, Sam Squatch, which is, I forget what it was.
Do they still have called the Sam Squatch?
Yeah, from the Trailer Park Boys. Now, I'll give them, they come up with great names for their beers, but, man, for the most part, they've been very mediocre, and this is where we're at right now. You do have some breweries in Nova Scotia right now with the explosion doing very well. You have a lot of mediocre, and you have some that are really bottom of the barrel. And that difference between bottom of the barrel and mediocre is not that far. It's not much of a difference here. So, but good for them. They must have somebody in CBC in their pocket, because they seem to do a few CBC stories, so they're getting some free advertising that way. So, good for them, right? I mean,
and I'll be honest, I haven't really heard of Good Robot until I saw this article. So,
yeah,
good publicity, I guess, for them.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's good for them. Good. I guess they're going to redirect those condoms to a friend doctor of theirs in the States, because they can distribute it that way. So, like I said, very well They got the $200. They couldn't have bought this marketing for $200 to get on BuzzFeed and Huffington Post, right? So.
Yep.
But let's move on to something a little bit more important, which is what we're drinking tonight. We're almost at the halfway point here. Might as well just remind people what we're drinking tonight. Some local craft beer. Dan, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I am still working on my, and I'm going to make sure I get the bottle here. Boom. Old Fog Burner, Garrison, 10.5. As always, a fantastic beer, a little on the heavy side, but that's what I prefer anyway. And as you can tell, it's going down pretty smooth. Surprising thing, though, concerning the alcohol content, it's pretty clear through it. It's not as dark as you'd expect out of such a beer. So.
Well, no, like I said, I'm with you there. Like, I really do enjoy that barley wines. And barley wines in general, a lot of them are really, really good. Yeah. Mike, what are you drinking tonight?
Mine is very light and clear.
Really clear.
Very clear.
It was really good. I'm going to drop out to the fridge now and pick up a Kitty Vitty British IPA. I've had that one before. It's a local brewery.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I'll be back in a second.
All right, good enough, Mike. We'll give you a little mute.
He's got to go to his growler station.
Yeah, his growler station. Yeah, that's right. Of course, I'm drinking. I'm working off a growler slowly, which is from Sea Level El Rojo Diablo. Their double IPA 8.666. Really good beer. I think I drank that last week. If you want to look at the replay, I was quite intoxicated for that one.
Now, I got one of their cans the other day, and I found it was a pretty I guess I'm going to use the word mediocre. It was very bland.
Really?
Yeah, I'm blanking on which one it was, but so you're saying that this Rojo is far better?
Oh yeah. Now I gotta say, I've always said Sea Level when they start doing their canning of their beer has transformed their game quite a bit. So I don't know it, but they do have some that are kind of like on the lower alcohol ones. They only have a handful that are kind of up there.
I think it's one of the lower alcohol ones, and I mean I guess the worst way to say it tasted like a Molson product.
Well, let's see. The only thing that kind of tastes like that maybe could have been their pale ale.
Might have been the pale ale.
Yeah, because the Blue Heron is actually really good. I think right now they have their Wee Heavy out right now. But anyway, just checking out the live chat. GC Storm from the Valley. How's it going, Roger? Good evening, everyone, he says. I'm drinking a Neither World Cascadian Dark Ale from Flying Monkeys.
Where's Flying Monkeys based out of?
They're based out of Toronto or Ontario.
Oh my goodness, you're not a local from that area. It's Toronto.
Yes, like I said, Toronto. Just like in Pictou. And Mike got something here from the cellar.
Yep.
A Quiddy Vitty British IPA.
Yeah, that's really nice.
All right, excellent.
So for Newfoundland, I mean we have the NSLC over in Nova Scotia. What's the equivalent for Newfoundland? Because I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah, the NLC.
It is still the NLC? Okay.
Yeah. Grease Stain also on the live chat. I'll give you 3 guesses when I'm drinking, and the 2 won't count. The first 2 won't count. Guesses, that is. Let's see. What is he drinking? He is drinking. What is Grease Stain drinking tonight?
I'm gonna say it is.
I think it's gonna be an IPA.
I was gonna say the Revolution.
Oh, he's going.
I'm gonna say Revolution.
Yeah. Now, I've had a few of these El Rojo Diablos, so I don't. My memory banks can't go back more than a day right now. But
squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel. What? But well, let us know, Christine, if our guesses were right. I'm just going to be general IPA. You're drinking like an IPA.
No. You got to guess one. You got to specify one.
Oh, he's probably. Well, let's see. He's probably drinking a. I'm going to say he went to the NSLC, he's feeling nostalgic, picked up a Propeller IPA because it's like, I remember drinking one of these back in the day. And you're saying Propeller Revolution.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Well, hint, it's what I always drink. Oh God.
It's Labatt's Blue. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No. 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 You know what? No. It's probably some strong stuff. I bet you he's drinking like some scotch or something like that with a cigar, being like
rye or like Russian
whiskey.
Yeah.
That's like going off the another direction altogether.
No, it's good. Well, it's funny because I was just thinking back when I was coming back from my trip from the States. We're at the duty free at the airport, and we're like, oh yeah, duty free, and then we're looking through everything, and it's like, there's really nothing that I can't get here, even though smaller bottles, whatever, but it's like I don't drink any of the hard stuff enough to say, yeah, I do want the Johnny Walker Black or whatever it is. So I'm not. Oh wow. Yeah, the beer's hitting you, Jim. Damn straight. 8.666, my friend. Let's talk about pooping like a samurai.
I think that's a Miley Cyrus song, isn't it?
Pooping like a samurai. Da, da, da. So, Dan, this is one of your stories that you dug out here. So,
yes.
What?
Actually, technically, this is a story that my wife forwarded to me. It's like, you should read this. Don't put it online, though. It was like, of course it's going online. It's from The Art of Manliness, and the story is about how to poop like a samurai. And so it's talking about the going through historical documents and how a samurai would technically be vacating his bowels in a manner that would be samurai-esque. And it's just talked about things like about positioning and how to prepare yourself in case you are attacked, just to make sure that you're always in a defendable position, even when you're vacating said bowels. But they're saying that if you actually sit down there and you cross your leg over your body, that is actually a far better posture position to ensure that you have a direct injection of the physical material entering into the basin, in which case, basically it's the best way to shit. So yeah, the other thing you might notice from that picture too is that you're supposed to take the armor off of a single leg, so that way that's the leg that you can bend over, so you can get the direct injection but still remain in a completely armored position, so that way if the door bursts open and you have ninjas coming in with full shurikens ready to go, that you're able to go ching ching ching, slice, and then
It's a very complicated way to just say take one of your legs out of your pants so that you don't trip over if somebody busts open the door.
And cross your leg, because that forces the correct posture to make sure that you have a complete curvature of the spine, so that the duty goes into the duty basin.
Pretty technical.
I don't get it. Very complicated.
Just read the article.
All right. Yes, on the if you're on the YouTube page, the links are all in there, so you can give that a quick read. Another story from Dan. This is this is great. This is great. I love this because being Dan and I, we do run once in a while races and stuff, and get our bag of goodies. And race was in China. People were get this in their kits, in their swag bag. And yeah, that looks like one of these fruit roll-ups or whatever. No, soap.
Yeah. So you can imagine what people are like. They're tired, they're exhausted, and all they want to do is get calories into the system. And they pick up the thing. It's like, oh, orchard fruits. All right, good vegetable bar. You crack it open, you bite into it, and then all you're eating is soap. And there's a lot of Chinese marathoners that are just eating soap and finding it the wrong way. That's not giving the energy that they were really hoping for. And I'll give my own story. Like, I don't know if there's a lot of runners out there, but especially when you go the long distance running, chafing is your enemy. And I remember that around kilometer 24, and you're just running along, hoping to keep it all together. And you have these people out there, and they have these popsicle sticks in their hands. They're jutting out towards you, and you have this big dollop of stuff at the end of it. And it's not an energy gel that you're supposed to consume. It's basically a popsicle stick full of Vaseline. So that way, while you're running, you kind of like scoop it off, just kind of like scooch it around the groin and any other areas. So that way you're perfectly lubed up to continue and finish out the last 14 kilometers or so. So not everything has to go into the mouth is the end story. Think before you eat.
Yeah, because definitely you don't want to be like this guy. Remember the runner who shit himself during a half marathon?
Oh. Yeah. That's dedication to your craft, though. But even that face tells a story. That's a face that knows pain and knows that he's got quite a few miles ahead of him.
So he did that half marathon in an hour 09, which is like
is crazy,
insane, by the way. But you know what? Tell you, if I do have a little rumble in the jungle, I'm seeing the first potty station, and I'm going. Sorry.
Oh my God, I do not need a yellow streak going down my pants. I don't want to be known as that guy.
So Grease Stain was saying here in the chat. It says, "I don't know, Dan. In the woods, I just take a leg off my pant to move it out of the way, and squat shoots out like a cannonball." He says.
Yes, but ninjas. Have you really thought about the ninjas that are in the woods?
Samurai.
That's the thing. Samurais are always thinking about those ninjas.
Well, you know what? Saw a lot of ninjas on Daredevil Season 2 on Netflix. What? You haven't seen it?
I'm doing flooring. I have no time.
You should have at least squeezed a couple episodes in before the hangout.
Anything, man.
Oh, my God. I thought I was able to segue into a nice conversation.
No.
Right.
Bad Jim.
Well, all I'm going to say is, personally, I preferred... Season 2 did a really good job building on Season 1. They did a good job with the mini arcs with the multiple characters they had to juggle. And also sprinkling all the teases for all the other Netflix shows. Luke Cage, Jessica Jones.
Is there going to be an Iron Fist? Is there going to be an Iron Fist?
Yeah, Iron Fist has been cast, and in fact, they're going to add Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu, to the story. So,
is he going to be white?
Iron Fist is going to be a white blonde dude. Shang-Chi is obviously going to be a Chinese dude because he's the Master of Kung Fu.
I'm just saying they have a tendency of not picking the correct races whenever they choose casting.
Well, there was a big social media push to choose an Asian character for Iron Fist, but since he's a white blonde dude, they went for they kind of kept it pure. But I think they're adding the Shang-Chi character, which was one of my favorite comic book characters in the '70s growing up. Had a lot of kung fu books there, comics. It was pretty good. But let's think of it. Iron Fist is a guy who goes into a celestial plane and figured out the mystical magics of kung fu. Like, he's on like same level as like Doctor Strange, but with kung fu. Like,
okay, you probably lost a lot of people by talking about that.
No,
I know what you're talking about. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, read the comics.
By the way, have you heard about the Doctor Strange movie?
Yeah, Cumberbatch is running around New York. And
Yeah.
I tell you, it's going to be really interesting in the next little while. Greastain was saying here on the live chat, he says that Daredevil was awesome. He said, glad to see the Punisher done right for once, and I agree. The Punisher, fantastic. Episode 3 is like the best. It was my favorite episode. Well, 3 and maybe 7 or 8 is a good one.
Well, I will get off my lolly ass. Now that the flooring is done, I will actually start catching up.
Well, you can binge after the hangout and do like at least 3 episodes before bed. And
I'm gonna have to pull an Al Bundy though. I'm gonna have to like lounge in the with like the hand down the pants.
Yeah. Greastain also says that he was a Deadpool, Wolverine, Punisher guy. I remember buying Punisher. Punisher, they used to come out with these big tabloid style magazines of the Punisher. I had a whole stack of those. I bought them. And it was black and white. And I've never seen them since, either at comic book shops or whatever. But I'm a huge Punisher fan. So
okay, I'm gonna geek out now because I was a huge comic fan. In fact, I have like about I'm gonna say 5,000 comic books sitting in the closet there. Mike Zeck, who is actually the creator of Punisher, I do have a couple issues signed by him.
Nice.
So yes, I do appreciate Punisher, and I do appreciate Wolverine. I'm a huge fan of X-Men.
All right, I think we've done all that.
We just lost Mike.
Nah, Mike's like, all right, talking about something. Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah, fuck that.
No, that's out of here.
All right, let's move on with the next story, which is another one of Dan's stories here. Talking about we're talking about self-driving cars. Domino's self-driving delivery robot.
The future is now.
What? What is this?
Now, Amazon's got a whole ton of sort of press. Remember they were talking about their drones? They were going to like have these aircraft that can fly around and deliver shit to your house, and like, oh, I need toilet paper now. And toilet paper comes, which is a terrible idea. I'm just going to tell you, Amazon, because all it takes is a couple of drunk guys with like shotguns, drones knocked out. Now, what we're talking about is these like sort of like Ed 209s, going down people's streets, with pizzas ready to be delivered at any given moment, and I think it's phenomenal. Like, I mean, pizza delivery guys are hardworking individuals, but you know what? Having a robot bringing you hot pizza right there, ready to go, you can't beat it. Especially if it's Ed 209.
Yeah, but what about this black market of people intercepting?
That's why you get Ed 209.
No, you know what? Ed
get back in the heat.
You just send Ed 209 down a flight of stairs, and he becomes totally useless, squeals like a pig, and then you take your pizza.
Okay, Ed 209 will not deliver to apartments. Fine, but for houses with 2 guns on the side, I mean, he's a perfect way to ensure that not only do you get your breadsticks, but you get your dessert pizza at the same time, hot and ready. That being said, if you actually look at the actual project, it's something that New Zealand Domino's, which, by the way, New Zealand Domino's?
Yeah, who knew?
It just seems weird. They're trying out this thing that actually looks more like a Wall-E than an Ed 209, and cool if this works out. I hope it does work out because I am ready to get delivered hot cheese and pepperoni to my mouth via robotics.
You're very excited about it.
I am excited about it. Holy shit! Look at that thing.
That thing goes about 2 miles an hour. It will take forever to get you your pizza.
But
you just go drive and get it.
Inside it, while it's traversing, you don't get that 30-minute-old pizza showing up your house. It's literally cooking it as it arrives. And if they do change it to become an Ed 209, it's fucking badass.
No.
Ed 209s. The future of RoboCop is what we need for Pizza Huts. And not the reboot Ed 209.
No, the reboot was terrible.
I'm talking about like the Paul Verhoeven Ed 209. What? Am I getting no sort of support on this?
No, you get nothing.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, come on, guys. Robotics and pizza. This is like a match made in like neckbeard heaven. Milady.
I think it's cool, Dave.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm having a side conversation with Greastain on the chat here about Punisher video here. I believe we're narrowing down the video here with Dirty Laundry. So of Punisher. Anyway, regardless, we'll work it out in the live chat here.
But I will say just one last thing about this.
Yeah.
I do honestly think this is a better idea than the drones that Amazon was proposing, because honestly, unarmored drones flying around is just asking to be shot down. It's just literally begging to be shot down. When you let this thing just peddling its wares down and up and down the road, people are gonna like, whoa, that's fucking pizza. Let it go. Just let it go. It's got important business.
I don't know, Dan.
You get nothing from me. You're not getting nothing from me for this one. Sorry.
Okay, what if it's like Cinnabons? What if it's delivering Cinnabons?
Well, you know what? Well, yeah, then you can cry in your house as you're getting your Cinnabons.
What if it's delivering craft beer straight from the brewery to your house?
Can we get one that delivers mustard pickles?
Oh, there you go.
Mustard pickles. Literally has a mustard pickle cannon. So just like a delivery boy, it doesn't have to actually go up your street. It just literally goes on the sidewalk and just fires it out of a pressurized cannon, and it slaps across your door, and then you just open the door and like, fuck.
One side mustard pickles cannon, the other side is a T-shirt cannon, just like at the hockey games.
It's like a hockey game. You have the pogo cannon. Pogo hot dogs.
Ice caps and mustard pickles. Perfect.
Yeah.
And I apologize. I've had way too much to drink tonight.
No, it's okay. No, it's good. You did good, but hey, just like me last week.
I'm passionate about
Oh, man, guys. Yeah, if you guys didn't watch the replay from last week, I was pretty slosh there because I was showing off all my cards from Vegas.
And
I got on the street.
Okay. You were talking about this before the show. I think it's time to do a tarot reading with those cards. I would like to know my future, please.
Well, okay. Well, you know, what's really okay.
Something about the cups. That's all I know.
Well, all I know is. Well, no, actually, there's no $300 in here. Now, if people don't know, when you walk the strip in Las Vegas, there's people that hand out cards, and I stuck up my hand a few times and I got cards, basically, of escorts. And but what I was wondering here is like, and then as I was going through the cards, I was like, April, $125, no hidden fees. That's nice. You know, 100, and then you run into Gia, $45. I was like, well, what's with the price drop, right? And then I see the 2-for-1 special, Courtney and Ann. I was like, what?
Do they offer air miles?
Well, what's going on here? And then, like, why is this big price variance? Like,
is there a Groupon?
Then I started looking at the websites, and that is a different website that they're offering? Like, is it actually the girl on the card? Probably not. But you know, they're all called Ambers all of a sudden, or Destiny. So, it poses more questions than answers. So, anyway, that's my investigative journalism piece coming up.
So
Las Vegas strip cards.
So you got to go back to Las Vegas and just confirm the fact that those deals still exist?
I have to convince work to send me to another conference in Vegas.
Can you just say that you didn't learn much from the previous session?
Well, actually, I did learn quite a lot, but you know what?
No, you're not helping your cause.
No, hang on. What's going on in Vegas? Hang on. Let me go into the. I found out that the Reddit Vegas page is probably the best place to get. Well, we got Midnight Mayhem at NASCAR event right now. Or we can have the AKC Agility Dog Trial. I can go there. Or the Boulder City Beer Fest is happening in Vegas right now.
Ooh. Wait. Boulder City? Really? Why did I have to go to Vegas for that?
Well, it's kind of like suburbs and stuff.
That's weird.
Yeah. I had to ask how many people live in Vegas, and the cabbie said around 2 million. So I had no idea there were so many people living in Vegas.
2 million residents?
Yeah.
Pretty short. A couple of years ago, it was the fastest growing city in the States.
Yeah, and they have like a ridiculous amount of hotel rooms. It's like 50,000 hotel rooms, or a ridiculous number of hotel rooms, right?
As a naivete individual, aside from sort of the traditional sort of Las Vegas-ian sort of economy of casinos and debauchery, what other sort of economy does the city have to offer?
Well, you know, as me and my coworker were walking around, and we're saying that it's like everybody's like under my age here. Like it's not, you know, you think Vegas, you think older people and stuff like that. It's very young. I saw a lot of strollers. I saw a lot of kids.
Wrong.
Yeah, totally wrong. But then I'm thinking, is this kind of like the new Florida for a lot of people? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so going to Fort Lauderdale or spring. Of course, it was during spring break, but it's like, is this becoming the new thing where you just the packages are just so attractive? You just let's just do it that way. I don't know.
Start in Vegas, move to Florida.
Roger on the chat says here the first NXL paintball tournament of the season was last weekend in Vegas. Golf, hiking, lots to do in Vegas, Stu says. And they're building a new golf driving range next to the MGM. Should be ready in a little while. Stu,
well, I'm not questioning the fact that there's a lot to do in Vegas. I'm just questioning like if you take out the sort of the traditional tourism and the gambling sort of situation and all the showmanship, what's left as far as an economy of the city? Like if you took New York and you took the showmanship out of New York, you still have a lot of businesses there to sort of substantiate New York. What's there for Vegas if you took out sort of the showmanship out of Vegas?
Well, I guess now there's a big enough population where you can do a lot of stuff that's not on the Strip or not in that core that we think of Vegas here. Like I've been reading on Reddit for the last month or two the what's happening in Vegas this weekend, and right now it's like there's 10 let's see, there's the Easter Bunny Festival, the Beer Fest, the Dog Trial. This weekend, right now, there's the Bunny Race for Parkinson's. There's the Lachlan Half Marathon, the Enduro Mountain Bike Race, the Fallen Heroes 5K. There's the Spring Carnival and Egg Hunt. There's the Celebrated Education 8K, the Bubble Run, the Las Vegas Craft Show. There's a horse show going on too. There was the convention of Supernatural, the TV show, last weekend or the week before.
But again, those are all like visitor stuff. But like, do they have like a Ford plant or something to substantiate 10 or 2 million? Like
they got a big
residents?
ass. They're opening a big ass IKEA in May with all solar panels. I guess solar panels just powering the whole thing. Las Vegas IKEA.
Okay, is this place like freaking out of like Lord of the Rings? Like they just happen to like exist upon themselves? I mean, this city makes no sense.
It probably could. It probably could. You take how big it is with the shows and the hotels and the Strip.
Well,
It would probably take an awful lot, and then you need people to work at the Walmarts, the supermarkets, and drugstores, and you got a community.
It's a racket. Like you know, my first time there, and I mentioned it kind of drunkly last time, but everybody's hustling for the money and stuff like that. But I mean, it's like freaking Disneyland. Like, you know, you walk down the strip, you feel kind of safe. You go into casinos, there's shopping, there's, as Stu said here, there's golf courses, there's hiking. You're in the mountains. You know, you got a lot more to do than just the strip. That's what's in our minds and stuff. So it's, but yeah, it totally blew my mind. And I was actually looking at the flight path of the plane because I was flying over some land, you know, some land masses. I'm like, where the hell am I? Because I don't know the geography. But yeah, we were just skirting at the edge of the Zion National Park, the Wed Mountains range in the Utah area and stuff like that. Beautiful areas and stuff like that. So it, like Stu was saying here, you're not far from quite a few things if you want to do, and learn that quite a few people you know, live there. Like, you're not far from Arizona, and we know how many Canadians go to Arizona, right?
Yeah.
To get homes and stuff. So
can you get a pizza delivered by a robot?
Yes. I'm sure.
Because that truly is what a metropolis should be, is you get your pizza delivered by. If New Zealand can do it, then Las Vegas should be able to do it.
They should do it. Oh, of course. Dan, you had a story here on kids' notes that they write to their parents or something like that?
Yeah, I guess this would be considered our feel-good moment. Yay. So this is just sort of random articles that, or pieces of paper that any parent that knows their kids usually signs a sort of little note to them. And these are just brutally honest notes that kids write. And again, if you're a parent, you'll recognize these and realize how real and funny these truly are. I'm sure I can read a couple of these, but you can see them yourself. Like, for example, someone wrote an apology note saying, "Sorry because of nothing."
Yeah. Mommy, I love you sometimes.
Yeah. What's another one? I met a new friend named Sarah. We became friends because I kicked her in the face and said sorry. So you can't get more brutally honest. And to be honest, I'll be honest, I'm getting distracted because this is one of those websites where all the ads are just basically showing lots of boobs in front of you.
Yeah,
so it's hard to get to the actual pictures of all the notes of all these wonderful kids things, and then you see like 25 spring break photos you must see, and there's a pair of knockers right in front of you. So yeah, and it is still worth looking at these because they're pretty heartbreaking, especially if you're a parent.
Yes.
And yes, I am drunk.
That's okay. I'll show you a picture of me drunk while I was in Vegas. This one's good.
Oh, bring it up. Let's see.
Right there. Look at that.
Oh, is that drunk? Is that drunk?
That was pretty close.
It doesn't look that.
What's her name?
Destiny, Magic, Candy. Those are their names.
Where are their playing cards?
They didn't have playing cards. However, it was so funny. They were steampunk ballerinas, and it's like, what? It's like, it doesn't make any sense. And then all of a sudden they're chatting up with us. One of them was chatting up with the one guy, and all of a sudden they all leave together for like 15 minutes, and they come back. Anyway. Grease Saint says, "Yeah, you can show us the ads." No, we're not going to show you the browser ads for that.
You can just click on the link, and I'm sure they're going to be there. And I can't believe I used the term knockers. Like, what am I, like 12?
Yeah.
Really? Sorry. Appendages. Memories, whatever you want to say.
All right, so let's wrap it up here because we're getting close to the end. I do want to note to a story that Mike sent there. Rob Ford died this week.
Yeah,
And,
considering that we talked about his illness on the last episode.
yeah, there was a article. I listened to the Canada Land podcast, and they had a guy who wrote an article that Rob Ford was a prophet or something. Anyway, he was trying to make the connection that he was really the first one that tapped into what Trump is doing right now, and the big middle finger to the establishment. At the end of the day, he didn't really do much with his power that he got as mayor of Toronto. But cancer sucks, and you feel bad for that. But he was an asshole, douchebag, and everything else under the book there. So
yeah, but in the end, he has family. He had 2 young kids, a wife. I mean, the hell that they went through the last couple of years must be awful.
Oh yeah.
Right? And as a mayor, he did a good job. Just as a regular guy, he didn't do so well the last couple of years. And like you say, cancer sucks, and it's sad that the man died, right? No.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have a few less pictures of him driving drunk and smoking crack, but
Yeah.
Well, he still has a brother kicking around, so I mean, I'm sure he'll miss it.
he's been very quiet since since they lost the mayoral position there. So let's see. Let's do a quick round of plus ones, and then we'll just close it off for another week here. Dan, do you have a plus one to share with us?
I do. I don't have it pulled up here though, but one of the things I do enjoy looking at what people have posted on there is something called everyday carry.
Yep.
And it's typically when people take pictures or snapshots of the things that they keep with them on a regular basis, just to help keep themselves organized or just prepared for whatever that day calls for. And there's a website called everydaycarry.com. Actually, you pulled it up there. Perfect. And it's great. Like, a lot of it is just sort of people kind of showing off, the luxuries that they happen to have with them, because some of the items there are pretty expensive. But some of the other things are actually really cool ideas of things that you might be able to introduce into your own sort of like lifestyle, I guess, for lack of a better term. Watches, phones, accoutrement that you might want to bring with you. And everyday carry people take really nice pictures of those items and show you what they bring along with them. Don't bother with the Reddit version of everyday carry, because it seems like every individual happens to carry a handgun with them, which makes very little sense. But if you go to everydaycarry.com, they have a pretty good mix of everything. The one thing to note is that everyone seems to carry a very nice watch and a very nice knife.
Yeah.
And the knife I do suggest is the Leatherman Skeletool. I do have one, and I really like that one.
Yeah. No, I've been going to that site a few times myself, and I have bought a few things that has been on that site. I don't have it on me right now, but it was my wallet and my keychain fish hook that I clip on my belt. So I did buy a few things from there. I always go there once in a while to see what people are carrying. But yeah, you're right. People carry a really expensive watch, a nice knife, and maybe a pen. But yeah, it's just interesting to see what people like. They call it basically a pocket dump. Whatever's in your pocket, you dump it on the table, take a picture of it, and that has evolved to the everyday carry. But there's a lot of cool ideas. People have their systems or their styles. They may want, they may like black, they may like leather look, they may like whatever. So it's really interesting to see what people do.
It is.
So yeah, I'm totally down with the ECD.
And one other thing, I know last week I talked about Casey Neistat. Today he celebrated his 1-year anniversary of vlogging. So that's 365 episodes of Casey Neistat. So again, if you're not following him, do follow him. It's fantastic. It's one of the best channels out there on YouTube.
Dan, like, you know how you follow him, obviously, so he videotapes like everything he does. He's getting on planes, he goes in stores, right?
Yeah.
I do YouTube videos, and a couple of videos ago I went into a Home Depot with my video camera. It's just like a phone size one, and I wanted to show alcohol fuel that I use for my stoves. And did it ever feel awkward going into a store with a video camera that nobody even noticed because it was black, it looked like a phone? I'm thinking, this guy does it every day, everywhere. That's hard to do. It's really hard to do.
Yeah, he's in New York. It helps. Not like coming out here like in the Maritimes or in Newfoundland.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, you don't see a lot of people walk around with selfie sticks to film themselves. Yeah.
But the other thing I find amazing is he's got like this Canon like DSLR that's probably worth $1,000, and he got it on a Joby Gorilla Pad, and he'll lay it down on the sidewalk and walk towards it or walk away from it. And you're in New York, and I know it's a Fenrir place and that, but I don't know about a camera.
But you know what? He usually has somebody behind him and stuff like that, or somebody with him. But it doesn't take long to do those shots. I mean, Mike, you make something up, but for depending on the lens and stuff like that, doesn't take a lot. Doesn't take a lot of time to set up the shot and just walk and grab the camera there. So.
That's true. Yeah.
But I'm sure he has somebody behind him and stuff. Roger, GC Storm says here his EDC would consist of a beer comb and a small tin of mustache wax. Grease Stain, his EDC is the car keys, a 4-inch knife, a wallet, phone, belt. You forgot pants. Pants!
Yeah, you want to wear pants.
Yeah, no, it's funny, Dan, you mentioned the Leatherman Skeletool. I had bought my replacement Skeletool a couple of weeks ago, like a month ago. That was my second or third Leatherman, so I'm carrying that. Now with the Skeletool, they're painting the frames, so now you got nice bright colors.
Yeah.
For it, so
cool.
I'm wearing that, so that's pretty nice. Otherwise, that or my black Spyderco.
Ooh,
that's right.
That is a very popular one on EDC as well.
Yeah, Spyderco's really. Yeah. Mike, what do you got for +1?
+1 is BookBub, BookBub.
Yeah.
It's I got a Kobo e-reader. I've had it probably 4 or 5 years now, and they have an everyday email they send out where you can buy these books for like $1.99, $1.79, and I'd say almost every week I buy a book, and I haven't gone wrong yet with buying one of these $2 books, and it's excellent. So if you're into e-readers, check out BookBub.
Especially when you're seeing Mystic River for $1.99, a Game of Thrones for $2.90, Economics, which is a $1.99. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And most of what I read is all true stories, whether it's murder stories, history, a lot of World War II history, and you can always find something every couple of weeks for $1.99 or less.
All right.
So who here owns a Kobo or a Kindle?
Well, I got a Kobo.
Not me. Got nothing.
I got a. I mean, I have an iPad and I have all I'm a tech fiend, but when it comes down to just pure reading, having an actual sort of ebook makes a big difference.
Yeah.
No, I have not been able to do the ebook transition. Right up here, right above, there's a bookshelf right up here. It has all the latest books that I've read in the last 10 years. As soon as I got the iPad, I stopped reading books, and I don't know, I'm reading shorter form stuff.
Okay, Jim?
Yeah, why?
I have a Sony that I will give to you. I've got 2 ebook readers, and I don't use my Sony anymore, and I was just going to give the Sony away, that Sony is for you. You just got to come by and pick it up.
They're awesome.
All right. I'll leave some beers at the doorstep.
I've got probably several thousand old books in my house. They were my grandfather's, and he gave them to me.
Yeah, I know which one to bring you.
But seriously, that's all e-book readers for you. It's got to find a good home.
All right, cool. Yeah, because I've been trying a few times with the iPad, and I got the second generation iPad. So it's a few years old, but I buy a few books and I just cannot get into it. I don't know what it is, but I used to be a big book reader for sure.
I love a real book, but like if you're at work, I read a lot on my breaks and in the evenings. But I find in the car, when you're waiting to pick up the kids from university or school or whatever, I always got it in the pocket of my door. And 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I read 2 books last week.
Wow. Now again, I don't know if it's because I'm substituting the reading with podcasts or Twitter or I'm reading. I read a lot of news, like Twitter and news links. This is like my main mode of consumption. Like I'm constantly on Twitter, reading news and stuff. So my reading, I probably read as much as I did for books. But anyway, plus one for me. It is the latest podcast from Inc. Incorporated. I think it's called Inc. Uncensored, episode 57. Could kosher become the new organic? It's not the story that I wanted to talk about, but it was basically they had a great story on the Uber for X, which is basically think of a service, but you use like an Uber type of delivery. But they talked about how there's a couple of sites that are doing, you get your app on your phone. It's like, I think I need a massage. I'm going to open up the app, and I'm going to book a massage session. They'll come to my house, my hotel room, my whatever, where I'm at, and I'll get a massage from a certified person there. I guess they really beef up the security for that kind of stuff. So they're making like millions of dollars doing this stuff. I found that very, very interesting. Inc. Uncensored podcast. It's actually a very good podcast too, so I definitely recommend that one.
Check that out.
Yeah, definitely check that out. It comes out on the weekends, so I would definitely check that out.
So how many podcasts are you subscribed to?
Let's see here. I am up to. I just got the thing here. I believe it's 32.
And actually, what are you using as your podcaster?
I am using Downcast for iOS. I don't know if they have it for Android, but it does a really good job at setting up your playlist, sleep timer. It saves a backup to your cloud, so if you're migrating phones or whatever, you will grab the iCloud, so your subscriptions are saved. It's just a nice app. I've been using it for a number of versions now. It is a nice. I'm trying to get the splash screen to show what the logo looks like, but it's called the Downcast.
Yeah, I use Pocket Cast because the same sort of thing where they will sync up the where you left off with your podcasts on the cloud, so that way you can sync up with any other device. Yep. But the nice thing about Pocket Cast is that it's multi-OS, so whether you have an iOS device and an Android device, they will talk to each other, and it's perfect. So I do like Pocket Cast a lot, so I will suggest them. So that's what I'm using.
All right, excellent. What else do I want to say here too about it? Yeah, no, I mean anything that they'll allow you to stream straight or queue up, I think it's good for me. I mean, that's all I got. That's all I got, boys. That's all you guys got. We're going a little bit over, so let's just end it for tonight. Thanks a lot for Roger and Greestain for commenting tonight. Really appreciate it. For those who are jumping in, the podcast will be out over the weekend, hopefully on Saturday morning, as soon as I get up and export it. It'll be
And
there.
Stuart Grandy, he also commented on YouTube as well.
Yes, Stu. Yes, Stu did. So ran into him the other day. So he's a local good guy. That's Stu. Good meeting, guys.
Good meeting.
Good meeting.
Good meeting.